Mixing it up, the 74 car of Lanny Pemberton, 3 wide as they work off turn number 2. Eberth getting high on the backstretch. He gathers it back in, and they continue to duel up front. We watch the top 2 work off turn number 4 to the point. It's the 16 of Ed Millichamp. Second, Tom Dance. Third, sets car number 60, Larry Morgan. The battle is for 4th. The 74 of Lanny Pemberton on the inside lane, and on the outside, car number 25, Johnny Simons. Looking back, 3 car lengths. It's another good battle. Rob Thornton in car number 24. And the 43 of Dan Arnold. Arnold trying to work his way back to the point as we have a couple of cars slowing on the field. Car number 18 limps his way in for service, but we watch the battle with Thornton and Arnold continue. Arnold will secure that position and tries to track down the lead 5. Top 5, it's Millichamp over Larry Morgan, who just worked his way around Dance. Dance will fall in line in the 3rd spot. And 4th spot is Lanny Pemberton. Pemberton trying to close in on the top 3 is now coming off turn number 4. The 16 of Millichamp gets a little loose. Morgan looked to the inside, couldn't make the move, but now Pemberton makes a move. He'll take away the 3rd spot from Tom Dance. Battles all over the speedway. We watch the lead pack work through turns 3 and 4 and fade back. K.C. Walker in car number 08 working along with Rob Thornton, and the rest of the field work on by Adrian Stafford in car number 07. But we continue to keep our eye on the leaders as they work to the outside. 1 car looping in turn number 2, car number 07, Adrian Stafford, and that'll put a caution on the field. Dan Arnold will take him back to the green flag. Lanny Pemberton second. 9-1-1. Larry Johnson tries to make a move on the restart. He battles with Tom Dance for the 3rd spot. But we watch the leaders down the backstretch. Arnold shows the way. Pemberton second. The battle between the 9-1-1 and the 4 car. And the 9-1-1 gets loose coming off turn number 4. Everyone's going to have to take evasive action. The field stacks it up. Everyone gets by cleanly except for 1 car. He'll tag the 9-1-1 of Johnson. And also have another car stopped on the field. We're back under caution on lap 25. They watch for the green flag. Dan Arnold sees it wave quickly. He's in the throttle. They stack up further behind. Casey Walker trying to make a move to the front. She's to the inside of Kevin Barrett. And the top 2 single file with wheel-to-wheel racing behind. It's Arnold showing the way. Lanny Pemberton second. 3rd place is where the battle is. Tom Dance in car number 4 and the 60 of Larry Morgan going at it. Closing in on that battle as well as the 24 Rob Thornton. Is car number 10, Jason Eberth, tags the retaining wall. Coming down the front stretch, he'll have to back out of it, check his ride, but we continue to watch the battles on the speedway. The battle for 3rd continues with Morgan winning out on the battle as they hit turn number 3. Dance looks back to the inside in car number 4. He sees a challenge on the outside. Rob Thornton closing in car 24. Just behind, it's Johnny Simons in the Budweiser number 25. He looks to the inside of Thornton. Racing down the backstretch as Kevin Barrett and Casey Walker go at it. Car 08 and car number 36. They work through turns 3 and 4 and try to track down the lead group. Arnold now about 3 car lengths as they work off turn number 2. Lanny Pemberton trying to stay in touch. He looks back to see Larry Morgan a car length and a half behind, and Morgan with plenty of company in Tom Dance, car number 4. Simons and Thornton go at it now. Wheel to wheel through turns 1 and 2. That's the battle for 5th on lap number 29. It's a wheel to wheel race for the 5th spot. Top 4 single file. It's Thornton on the high side. Simons pinning it down low. Thornton gets really high all the way up into the marbles as he works off turn number 4. That allows Simon to secure the spot. And now Dance comes in the challenge. He'll shove the 24 Thornton. It looks like something dragging on that ride. Sparks start to fly. He ducks down to the inside lane. And looks like Rob Thornton is off the pace. He'll head in for service as we look back to the leader crossing the stripe. It's Dan Arnold. Over Lanny Pemberton, over Larry Morgan and Tom Dance, the top 4. Now half a straightaway over Johnny Simons in car number 25. Simons works into turn number 3 with Ed Millichamp in car 16, not too far behind. And now closing in Casey Walker in car number 08 and Kevin Barrett in car number 36. That pack works off turn number 2 and to the backstretch. And through turns 3 and 4 behind them will come the car number 69, Larry Waltrip. First the lap car of Steve Cadle, but Waltrip leads that next pack. in car number 69, the Spotless Touch Rod, followed by the 94 of Farron Hamlin. And now shooting to the inside, Bobby Marshall, car number 1, works to the inside of car number 5, Sam Millisham. He'll try to get back in line single file as they work to the outside of Cadle. Also in that group, car number 13, Jeff Sims. To the stripe, it's still Waltrip leading that pack as the leader works off turn number 4. And to the stripe, Dan Arnold. Continuing to be strong in this series, the 1995 champion with 6 feature wins. That time Morgan gets really high coming up off turn number 2. He loses some ground to Pemberton for the second spot, and now it's Dance will challenge once again. Tom Dance in car number 4 challenging for the third spot. Can't get the run on Morgan, and now Morgan regains composure after nearly tagging the wall on the backstretch and starts to track down Pemberton once again. Looking back, it's Johnny Simons trying to close in on the top 4 with Casey Walker not far behind again. And here comes the 36 of Barrett. He's worked his way to the inside of Ed Millisham, and now Rob Thornton, who's back up to speed. He'll work to the inside of Millisham as well. Field gets the halfway signal this time by as we watch the battles further back. Thornton trying to work his way back through the pack after having problems a little earlier. He gets clean at by, and we continue back. Jason Eberth in car number 10 tagged the boilerplate a little earlier. He's struggling with that ride. The Striper Johns Graphics Ace Auto Body number 10 out of Midlothian, Virginia. Behind Eberth will set car number 69, Larry Waltrip, and Farron Hamlin, who's trying to track down Waltrip now. They'll all have to work to the outside of the slower cars of Cliff Sales and Mike Matthews. "40 laps complete in this event as the field works through turns 3 and 4. It's the leader up off turn number 4. Dan Arnold starts to close in on Charles Cagle. That'll be the next machine he has to work around to put a lap on. First, he has to work to the outside of Sales. Sales gets a little loose. Arnold now shoots to the inside of Cagle, looks ahead. The lane is blocked, car number 18, but Arnold threads the needle. Comes up off turn number 4, and now Pemberton will thread the needle as well as Matthews ducks on the pit lane and continues to try to track down Arnold. Arnold works to the inside of Eber, still struggling with that ride, and down the backstretch he goes. Out of Petersburg, Virginia, Dan Arnold in car number 43. Leaders work off turn number 4. Morgan now sitting in the third spot. Dance in fourth. That's the way they've run for about the last 10 circuits. Charles Cagle in car number 90 struggling with that ride tonight. The Heilig Myers number 90. Familiar number 90 to race fans in this area. The Junie Donlevy lookalike number 90, driven by, of course, Mike Wallace in the Winston Cup Series. As we have 2 cars getting together, and the leader is involved. Car number 43 gets involved with the 07 to Adrian Stafford, and caution goes on the speedway. And we'll look to see if Arnold can continue. He'll duck on the pit lane on the backstretch. Our leader in trouble under caution. 45 laps down and 30 laps remaining in this feature as Lanny Pemberton will now show the way with trouble with Arnold as several cars quickly getting in the throttle on that restart. Tom Dance will set second in line. Larry Morgan third. Car number 24, Rob Thornton, working his way into the fifth spot. Is making that 4th spot. 5th spot now belongs to Kevin Barrett. And we watch behind as there's a 3-way battle for 7th spot as car number 43 sets against the boilerplate. Dan Arnold in turn number 4 up against the wall, and caution returns to the speedway once again. The 95 champion continuing to have his troubles. A 75-lap feature continues. Several cautions in the event as quickly we have cars stacking it up. Looks like there's going to be some debris on the speedway. Car number 60 having problems. He gets tangled up with car number 36, and we have a big pile up in turn number 2. Car 43 is involved. Car number 69 is involved. Car 16 involved. Ed Millisham, 36 of Barrett, the 60 of Larry Morgan, and the 08 of K.C. Walker. And welcome back to the MASCAR event. We're back underway. 47 laps complete, and green flag back over the field with Lanny Pemberton showing the way. Tom Dance setting second. 3rd place belongs to Johnny Simons. 4th place is Farron Hamlin, car number 94, and they stack it up further back. The 5 car, Sam Millisham, the 90 car, Charles Cagle, and the 18, Mike Matthews. A couple of those cars laps down. Bobby Marshall also in that group. He tries to work his way around Matthews and now shoots to the inside of car number 90, Charles Cagle. Dan Arnold trying to work back to the front and possibly pick up one of the laps he's lost tonight. He's to the inside of Bobby Marshall. Marshall drifts high. That allows Arnold to get on by. But remember, Arnold is 2 laps down in this event. Back to the leaders down the backstretch they race. Lanny Pemberton showing the way over Tom Dance and Johnny Simons, but Simons now starts to chop into Dance's advantage for second spot as 50 laps go on the scoreboard. It's 25 laps remaining in this feature event. 1 car looping on the front stretch, and caution will fall once again. Larry Morgan in car number 60. We're at Southside Speedway, the MASCAR Eagle Cup Series. We're back underway. Several cautions in this event, but it's Lanny Pemberton showing the way. The return to green. It's Pemberton over Dance, and the battle is for third spot. Well, actually, no battle. Larry Morgan is 1 lap down, car number 60, and Dan Arnold a couple of laps down in car number 43. They're trying to work their way back to pick up a lap as Farron Hamlin loops it down into the dirt coming off turn number 4. Waiting to see if he can get it refired. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so. And they're going to have to bring out caution once again. So as the leaders race back to the stripe, we go under caution. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, and we're back to green flag racing once again at Southside Speedway, the Eagle Cup Series, with Lanny Pemberton showing the way. Going to try to wrap this thing up. A caution-filled 75-lap event tonight, and we look up front. It's Dan Arnold in car number 43, trying to work his way back to the point and pick up one of the laps. He is down. The 1995 champion troubles tonight, but still showing plenty of power in car number 43 as he works to the inside of Tom Dance. Dance running second on the field. Third is Johnny Simons in car number 25. Fourth spot belongs to car number 24. That's Rob Thornton. And in fifth, unofficially, Sam Millisham in car number 5. Rest of the pack works down the front stretch. Battles all over the speedway. And some great racing here tonight. The 16 of Ed Millisham going at it. And right now we watch Bobby Marshall and car number 36, Kevin Barrett. Barrett penalized 2 laps earlier for that altercation in turns 1 and 2 that collected about 8 cars. But right now, we're going to swing back up to some of the battles further ahead. It's Larry Waltrip in car number 69 leading Sam Millisham, the 16 of Ed Millisham, and the 13 of Jeff Sims as the leaders cross the stripe. Wrapping up lap number 56. Arnold starts to look to the inside of Pemberton, wants to pick up one of those laps. Points very crucial in this series. They go to South Boston Speedway next Saturday night as the point season for South Boston kicks off, and that'll also continue on with the 1996 Quest for the Cup in the Eagle Cup Series. Down the backstretch, Arnold now seems content to run behind Pemberton. Looks to the inside coming off the stripe this time off turn number 4, and Arnold now gets the inside lane, but it's Steve Cadle in car number 3 blocking the low groove. Wisely, Pemberton lets out of it, knowing Arnold's a lap down. He'll let Arnold slide on by, but it's still Pemberton, car number 74, showing the way, the Dinwiddie driver. 94 Rookie of the Year at the point with Johnny Simons now starting to close in. Simons, the Budweiser Racing number 25, tracks him down from the second spot. He's worked by Tom Dance and looks at the leader as the leader will follow Dan Arnold's lines through turns 3 and 4. To the front stretch, it's Lanny Pemberton with Simons now closing into a half a car length. Tom Dance setting 3 car lengths back in the third spot. He watches the top 2 and tries to stay in touch. Pemberton running a smooth line through the turns. And off of turn number 4, again, Simons able to stay within a car length, but unable to strike at this point. He cuts it down a little bit more through turns 1 and 2. Pemberton shows a little more power down the straightaway. Simons able to cut into that advantage going through the turns. Simons drives hard into turn number 3 that time. He'll drift up off the banking, nearly tagging the boilerplate. And again, it's about a car length advantage for Pemberton at the point. Third place is Dance in car number 4. And further back, almost a full straightaway back now, is car number 24. That's Rob Thornton. He hits turn number 3, and he works his way through turns 3 and 4. Behind him sits car number 60. That's Larry Morgan. He's 1 lap down in this event. Ran strong early on, but had a lot of troubles throughout the event. Behind him sits car number 69. 69 of Larry Waltrip on the lead lap, and the 16 of Ed Millisham. 69, Larry Waltrip up into the 4 spot now. Unofficially, we're checking the record books, but the leader undoubtedly is car number 74, Lanny Pemberton, but he's getting a challenge now. Johnny Simons looks to the inside as they hit turn number 1. Simons pins it to the low groove. Pemberton drifts up high, and now Dance comes in to challenge Simons. The battle will go for second this time by. Dance works the low groove with Simons trapped up high. Now he'll look back under Dance. They work off turn number 4. Can't get the run this time. He'll fall in line single file. 67 laps complete, and this 75-lap feature. Pemberton now with about a 3.5 car length advantage down the backstretch. Continues to follow Arnold's lines through the turns, allowing Arnold to work his way by the traffic and waiting for the opening to make his pass. They both once again work to the outside of Steve Cadle, car number 3, his first run in the series tonight. Now Dance will have to work to the outside of the lap car, as does Simons in car number 25. Johnny Simons out of King William, Virginia, car number 25. His 3rd season in the series. 2 runner-up spots last year, but picked up the win last week in the first event here at Southside Speedway for the 96-point season. Everybody seems content to run single file at this point. We watch Simons. He's getting antsy on Dance. He looks underneath once again, but can't pin it to the inside lane this time. Simons with trouble going through turns 1 and 2. He'll lose about a car length and a half off the back deck of Tom Dance. Coming up on a pack of traffic. And the leaders will have to work them shortly. Dan Arnold's already worked his way to the inside of Cagle. Remember, Arnold's still 1 lap down. As Pemberton next will have to go to work on Cagle, but looks back to see Tom Dance closing in. Dance looks to the inside lane. Pemberton shuts him off this time, and they'll both have to fall in line single file as they work to the inside of Charles Cagle. Cagle not giving him much room to race, but this time Pemberton will clear him down the backstretch. And now Dance as well will shoot to the inside as they hit turn number 3. Up ahead, it's 3 wide, 3 lap cars, or cars that are about to be lapped. Dan Arnold 1 lap down. Bobby Marshall and Sam Millisham going at it for position. And this time Pemberton has to back out of it a bit. This time he gets the run down the backstretch. He'll get to the inside of Bobby Marshall. Now works to the inside of Sam Millisham. Millisham gets a little loose, nearly tags the leader, gathers it back in as the white flag falls. 1 lap to go. Pemberton tries to hold him off for 1 more circuit. Dance shuts it down to a car length. Simon sets 2 car lengths off the back deck of Dance. We watch the top 3 as they race through turns 3 and 4. Brings it up off turn number 4 and to the stripe. Your winner, car number 74, Lanny Pemberton. Second place will go to car number 4, Tom Dance. 3rd to Johnny Simons. 4th, unofficially, the 16, Ed Millisham, and rounding out the top 5 will be the 69 of Larry Waltrip. Well, Lanny Pemberton, week number 2, you pick up the win, but it was a battle out there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, all the yellows they were having. The car really worked good, and we've had a lot of help from a lot of different people, and we really appreciate it. The car really worked good tonight.
What was the setup tonight? Last week you were struggling, you had fuel problems. This week you seemed to find the right setup.
Well, last week it was dirt in the fuel, and we couldn't keep the thing running, so we just loaded it. And tonight we came out with a new motor and all clean fuel system, and it worked good.
Well, Lanny Pemberton, you hear it. He picks up the win with clean fuel. Yeah. Week he won the race in post-race tech inspection. This week he comes home 3rd. Johnny Simons unofficially leading the points.
It was a good race, Freddie. I really enjoyed it. I want to thank the McDonald's crew. They helped us out. Our clutch wasn't working well tonight, and we radioed in and asked them could they boost us from behind, give us a little push, and help us get started, and they did. And that's where my 3rd place finish come from. I could have fell on back on the restart. So I want to thank McDonald's, and I think we're in for a good season.
Yeah, you start off the season early. Normally you have a lot of troubles early in the season. This year Johnny Simons leads the points going into week 3.
We'll keep it up. I got to thank my brother. You know, he's really worked hard this year, and all the rest of the guys on the crew. We got a new guy on the team, Kevin Slater. We grew up together, so we work well together, and I think it's going to be a good year.
Well, and everybody knows David Simons. The only reason the team's doing good is because he didn't get to go to any finals with the Renegades. But this year, a lot of bad luck, Dan.
Yeah, last week I thought I had a monkey on my back. Now I got an ape on my back. Yeah, we got some trouble with a lap car. Some question whether I ought to be a lap down or not, but we came back. I thought we got one of them back, but they had me 2 laps down. But We'll come back. We'll see him in South Boston and get this ape off my back.
Now, you fought your way through the field before. Now you got to fight your way through the points.
Yeah, I think we're going to be about 50 points back, but it's about 19 races this year, so at the end we'll see what happens.
Dan Arnold, bad luck tonight, but next week we get back to our regularly scheduled program. The Eagle Cup Series will be at South Boston Speedway on Saturday night. Come on down there and join us. As for us, we'll be here on Friday at Southside Speedway.